Have you seen any like crazy rental stories?
The scam that I entered.
Oh my gosh.
So everything seemed like very normal. The MCFC called me, said that they received a call from the police that my unit is a scam unit. The police tried to call her, then also she never picked up the phone. I think if in my first year, I think I will cry already. So after this scam, I become even more cautious.
Everyone has a scam
So
nowadays.
yeah, the scam is everywhere now.
Welcome back to another Renly Stories. My name is Elliot. I am your host. Great to see me again, right? And this time I come back with a very bad voice, but sounds a bit sexy. Depends on how you look at it. Today I am here with Summer. So maybe Summer, you can introduce yourself a little bit more.
Okay, thanks, Elliot. Hello, I'm Summer with ERA. This is my 4th year in the industries. Yeah, so I'm specialized in residential, doing buy, sell, and rentals. Yeah, you can contact me through this number.
What made you choose to join the real estate industry?
Previously, I was an accountant. Yeah, so then 4 years ago, I get pregnant. Yeah, so because of the pregnancies, then after discuss with my husband, then I decided to make a career switch to the property industry.
From an accountant to property, that's quite a big jump, right?
Yeah, it's from back end to front facing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's at the beginning it's really a challenge. Yeah, because I need to force to talk to people. Yeah, if I'm not talking, then I can't get any business.
Oh, okay. This year had the most number of real estate agents. It was maybe late last year or somewhere this year.
Yes.
So it's getting a lot more competitive nowadays as a real estate agent, or maybe new people joining. So what do you think makes a real estate agent, I would say, stand out or maybe successful, at least in your own terms, I guess?
Yeah. I think I'm in this is my 4th years in the industry. I think for every service industry, right, it's about service. So for property as well, so we are not that after close the deal, then we say bye-bye to the landlord already. So it's all about the after-sales service. So if the after-sales service is still decent, I think the landlord will still continue with your service. Yeah.
I see, yeah. Do you tend to enjoy doing rentals?
So far, yes. So far, I consider quite lucky. Okay. Yeah, the landlord and the tenant that I met, right, they are quite decent people.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Even have any dispute, right? They will also come to a good terms. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any advice for like I would say tenants in the market looking for a property out there? How do you think they maybe some like quick 2 to 3 points of advice you would give them if they were like to start looking brand new, like never rented before in Singapore? What advice would you give them?
Okay. I think for tenant, right, it's good that they look for the rental units from a proper platform. For example, Property Guru, 99.com, and Renly. Yeah. So because all these are the verified platforms, instead of going to the social media like Facebook, or Instagrams, most of the scam are from like social medias, I would say.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not sponsored by Renly, by the way. So I mean, it's great to hear that, and also it's quite cool that you have very good relationships with your landlords and tenants. So how do you exactly like build trust with your clients, especially in an industry where rentals, at least in Singapore, we're starting to see a bit of scams kind of come up here and there. So how do you kind of like maintain that relationship with them and your tenants with all this, I would say, noise that's happening as well?
I think it's more about my personalities. I think when you are communicate with the person will feel that whether you are sincere or not. Yeah, I think is about your sincerity. Yeah, and the things that you present to them, whether it's a facts or you are upsell them, I think they will know.
Okay. Have you heard any like I would say funny misconceptions that people have about real estate agents or like rental real estate agents?
And the real estate agents, some will say, property agent, close deal, just want to close deals, just want to close deal fast, like that, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, not all. I think
Ah.
definitely in the industry also have such groups, minority have such, yeah, but I think majority are still very professionals because we are in this industry for long terms. Yeah, so if we always have this mindset like close deal fast, then I think in long term, sustainability is a question mark.
Yeah, you probably get blacklisted somewhere, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Have you had an encounter with that before? Because usually rentals, there's landlord agent and sometimes there's a buyer agent or like a tenant agent. So have you ever had this experience where you work with another agent and you can tell like this guy is not good, not good news, I would say.
Definitely have, yeah. So, but if I represent so-called my clients, so I need to protect their interests. Yeah, so if really not a good deal, then I need to be frank to tell my clients and then let them make the decision after all.
Okay. Is there any like behind the scenes work that they will kind of like tell you, like, hey, maybe just close this deal quick and whatnot? Do they pressure you sometimes? I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. There will be the situation like that. But I cannot push my clients because when you push, the client also will feel that oh you want me push me to make a decision fast like that. Yeah. So I'm not a pushy person. Yeah, not a pushy person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone can kind of like sense a salesman like 10 miles away, right? So if you carry yourself as such like the extremely car salesman, then that's not probably gonna work.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes the client also will skeptical as well. If you tell them that, oh, already have offer, you need to make a decision fast. Yeah.
Ah.
But sometimes it's really true. It's true.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if it happens, every single offer that comes in, they're like, this is.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been in the industry 5 years. If you were to like start again, or maybe mentor someone, what do you think would be a piece of advice you would want to give to maybe someone that's just joining the real estate industry?
Okay, I think for newbie, right, the first 3 to 6 months is really a difficult period. Yeah, if you are starting from zero, you don't have any friends or relative helping you.
Yeah.
So you really start from zero. So first 3 to 6 months is really critical. Yeah. So if you're able to conquer these 3 to 6 months, then I think it should be all right. Yeah, but of course you need to be hardworking. To look for the business, yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Was there anything you struggled with very early on?
Yes.
Or even now?
Yeah. At the beginning, I start from zero, so really don't have any business. So need to be very hardworking. Go for door knocking, telemarketing. Yeah. So try to find business. Yeah. So that's why I start from small.
Have you seen any like crazy, I would say, cases like rental stories or I don't know, tenants or landlords that maybe you can share with me?
I think the most memorable one is is a scam that I entered. I have.
Oh, you got into a scam also?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
everyone has a scam nowadays.
Yeah, the scam is everywhere now.
Okay.
Yeah. So how this scam happened is that there's a one lady contact me through my listing. Then and then she said that she is helping her cousin to look for a rental, and then want to arrange for the viewing. Then I arrange a viewing. Then she said that because they are overseas right now, so they get their friends to come to view the house.
Okay.
Okay, so after that, the friends come view the unit already. Then they say they are okay to offer the unit. Then they created a chat group. So that means the lady that contacted me and the so-called the tenants herself in a chat group. Yeah, so then everything is fine. They provided me the necessary document, the NRIC, everything. Then when on the day handover, I met the persons I met the tenants. Yes, yeah. So everything seemed like very normal. Yeah, they also transfer the money, the deposit is very fast. Yeah. Then after hand over the unit to the tenants, I think after 1-2 days, I received a call from the MCST.
Okay.
Yeah, the MCST called me, said that they received a call from the police, say that my unit is a scam unit.
Okay.
Yeah, there's tenants paid the deposit to the persons, and then after that it's not contactable.
Oh.
Yeah, then the MCSD asked me to give a call to a police. Yeah, then from there, then I try to contact the tenants. Then the tenants still respond to my message. Everything looked like very normal. Then we asked her to meet at the unit. Then she said that, okay, I will on the way, but right now I'm at the hair salon doing my hair. Yeah, so I need some time to come down. Yeah, yeah, but at the end we didn't able to meet her because she never appeared.
Right.
Yeah, she never appeared. When I contacted her, she still say that she's on the way. Then the police tried to call her. Then also she never pick up the phone.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we at the same day we take back the units and we change the password for the units. After that, she never contacted me anymore.
But they use legitimate tenancy agreements, like everything was.
Yeah. Yes, the NRIC. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they were kind of using that, and then did they process you, or like how? Because I'm guessing they will also say they are agents or something.
No, they say that they rented this unit is for their stay, for own stay, but most of the time they will be travel overseas. They rented it out with lower rent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it
so
was
to attract tenants.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So anything that's like too good to be true.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it must be quite crazy, like knowing that the like police, I would say, or MCST contacted you, telling you all this information. Like, I don't know what was probably going through your mind when you heard
Well,
all
I'm
this.
very shocked because this is my first encounter that the scam, and then it's involved police as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like, wow, what to do. So then I consulted my senior as well. Then consulted my seniors, and then what are the things to take note of lah. Yeah, then but when I met the landlord, I feel a little bit bad lah actually, get into this. But lucky that the landlord is quite nice. She said that we can't control this as well. Yeah, we already do what we need to do. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. And did this happen like very early on in your career, or was it
I think last year and my third year.
your third year?
Yes,
So at least you had a bit of experience.
Yeah, not that kelam kabut already.
Yeah.
I think if in my first year, right?
I can imagine,
yes,
right?
Yes,
Oh my gosh, you'll be like probably scared out of the
I
industry.
think I will cry already.
I can imagine it must be so like it can be so daunting if this happens in your first few years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'll be I'll be like, oh, I'm out. I'll just get out of the industry.
Yeah. So luckily, I already gather some experience, so I'm not so panicked. Because social media, you can be declare that you are the landlord or whatsoever. You really need to have the CEA number.
Yeah, no verification.
Yeah, no verifications, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe the listing at Facebook had like your face on it. You never know.
I never know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Looking back at this, case that happened, was there something you felt you could have like done a bit, differently, maybe to avoid it? I don't know.
Differently, I think due diligence is a must to check definitely due diligence. Yeah, that one is a must to do. Then what else? I think next time need to observe more the body language as well.
Oh. So what were like I would say 3 red flags you would notice if you were to encounter another scammer?
Yeah, if I ask questions, try to make a conversation with the tenant like like don't really want to answer, then maybe it's a sign.
Okay.
Yeah, and then and then always is that other person, like in this case is that one person's inquiry, another person come and viewing, and then the third person is the real tenants.
Right,
yeah,
right.
maybe a sign as well. Yeah, if you are the person want to stay in the unit, I think you will be more interested to come down to visit the unit yourself. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So from your experience, it's mainly these two points.
I think another main point is the mode of transfer money. Yeah, because at that point of time she is a Singaporean, but I asked her to pay now to the landlord, but she said that her pay now got issue. She tried to register but can't.
This is the deposit.
Yeah, the deposit
Okay.
can't go through. So can she deposit the money or not?
Oh.
So she make a cash deposit instead of a pay now.
So like a check.
Cash.
Oh, cash.
Yeah, cash deposit to the landlord's bank account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after I think back, I think this may be a sign as well because I asked her to pay now.
Okay.
Yeah, if you pay now, you have your bank details. This one, all the police may be able to trace back. But if you are using cash, then not able to trace.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, because it's just dropping the.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah.
I honestly, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. Have you? But no one really transfers by cash now, right?
Very minimal.
Very
Very
minimal.
minimal. Yeah,
Yeah.
previously I have similar, like the international student, they usually will be by cash.
Oh yeah, but that's.
Yeah.
They have no.
Yeah, but for local, usually will have bank. So pay now should be the number one method. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But that's a really crazy story. Do you have like any other like I would say crazy rental cases that might have happened to you, or know
I
any
think-
friends that got scammed?
Yeah, I think the scam is the most memorable one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So after this scam, I become even more cautious for the rentals.
Yeah.
So I will chat more with the tenants, potential tenants.
So technically, that made you like a better agent.
I think yes.
You're like more hypersensitive. You know,
Yeah. Become more hypersensitive.
Small things that don't like check up, you were like.
Yeah, even when come in inquiry, also a lot of scam inquiry as well.
Okay.
I think the recent one is that this person is in Hong Kong. Inquiry approached me to find a rental in Singapore. Then I forward the link to him, and then he said that okay, I want this unit. Can you get the landlord's bank details? I want to transfer the deposit without viewing.
Oh wow.
Only look from the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah. Then, but can I transfer in, let's say, in Hong Kong dollar or US dollar? He said that he don't have Singapore's. If transfer using Singapore dollar, it may take longer, couple of days. If using USD or Hong Kong dollars, it can be immediate. Yeah, and then he cannot provide me the document that like he is eligible to stay in Singapore.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he said that actually he come here is for the kids schooling.
Right.
Yeah, then I request that maybe you can provide me the school application document, everything, but he also not able. He said that I come here also do business, I can show you my business registration. But that business registration document certificate is Hong Kong, it's not Singapore Accra. So actually it's also not valid.
Yeah.
He very eager to transfer the money. Yeah, but at the end, I didn't. Yeah, because I said that we need the document first, yeah, before to transfer the money.
Right. I think my personal opinion is the big, I would say, challenge in Singapore's rental market is that Singapore's kind of safe, right? So because of that, the people tend to be very trusting. So I mean, if you go to other countries, you don't see your bags just left at like a cafe or like you're at a hawker, right? That's a very Singapore thing. So I think that also makes it very susceptible to the scams in these cases as well. Like the people are very trusting. So from your experience, I mean, for me, I don't feel the rental industry is perfect. But from your experience, how do you feel there's any like vulnerabilities or any kind of like ways that the rental industry could be improved? based on what you know?
Okay, I think now the property platform, they also trying to do a verification of the enquirer. Yeah, so how they did it is that I don't know how they verify, but it will be go through the platform first. Then after the platform verified, maybe their identity or info. Then after that, only the tenant can contact the agents. Yeah, but even that, we still receives scam enquiry as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
From a tax point of view, how do you tell it's a scam?
Okay, usually they will say that, I'm looking for rentals. Then we will ask, so any preferred locations, then how many packs, and then they will say that, oh, myself and who, my children or whatsoever, then we will further prop and your children for schooling or what, you need the location near to your children's school. Yeah, all this kind, all the background check. Yeah, so that we can do a match better. Yeah, yeah. So usually then they will say that, actually which school is better? Then this one I will pull already.
Oh, okay.
Because you as a parent, you definitely know that which school you are. You will do your own research that which school that you want to enroll your kids, right?
So if they're asking you, maybe they're trying to like fish for a better spot to scam people.
Yeah,
is it?
so for if the person answer that, ask me this question, then I will question mark already.
Okay.
Yeah, because myself, I'm also a parent. I definitely will do my own research.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, some more you are from international, then research I think is a must.
yeah,
because
especially entering into a new country, right? You
yes,
definitely would know where you're gonna go into.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. I mean, sorry, backtracking a bit to your scam case, right? I think I didn't really pick up, but do you actually meet anybody in the end of the day? Let's just say any of the different groups of tenants that you interacted with?
You mean when I rented out the units?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that the cousin came to view, she was inquiring for a cousin, and then the friends came down, right?
Yeah, I only met the so-called the friends and the tenants. I never met the so-called the person that enquire.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so you met the person, the lady with the hair salon lady?
Yes, the
Oh,
tenants.
okay.
Yes,
And they're
yes.
all Singaporean?
The enquiry, the person that enquiry, I'm not sure, but the tenant is Singaporean, provide the pink IC.
I see. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
and I checked the ICA is a valid IC.
Okay. So they
Yes.
probably got cut out of this whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, how do you feel like, for yourself, if you were to give people some advice on how to, on tenants maybe, how to avoid this?
For tenants,
yeah.
for tenants, definitely they need to go to a proper platform.
Proper platform, yeah.
Proper platform that verify the CA numbers.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course. Then after that, when you go down to visit the units, also you better check the agent to show the work pass.
Yeah.
That show the CA number as well.
Like the tag, right? You
Yeah,
guys
the
always
tag.
wear a tag?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
like, look, it's my face.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, and then if the tenant still question mark, they can go to the CA platform to look for the public register to
Right.
search for the CA number.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be safer.
I mean, we had an interaction with like a tenant that got scammed. Quite similar. I think their model is quite similar, I would say. So I think more or less if people know about this, that's the reason why we're doing this also. That's also better for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they use Facebook. I think that's the.
Yeah. Don't trust social media. The posting on social media is yeah. If you're looking for a house, then better go through a proper platform. Yes.
All right. So Summer, that was a very riveting story that you shared. Always good to get the word out to the people out there on how scammers are doing things, because we don't I feel like that's kind of messed up. They're kind of doing all this stuff. People's hard-earned money, right? Yeah. So we have a fun game for you, and this game is called Scam Test.
Okay.
So how the game is like is that I ask you a few scenarios, and then you just let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is a real scam, or do you think it's just like just a funny situation, like a fishy situation? So yeah, I guess we can start.
Okay.
Yeah, legit or scam basically.
Oh,
This is legit or scam, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one is you're a tenant, okay? And the agent asks you to pay the security deposit through Apple gift cards because it's more secure, or as a payment method. Yeah. So is this a legit thing, or do you think it's a scam?
A scam.
Okay. What do you say? What do you think is a scam?
Yeah, because usually payment we are paid directly to the landlord's accounts. Yeah, then we will prefer, because we need to check the ownership proof as well.
Yeah.
So usually we will transfer to the landlord bank accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Apple gift cards, right? Is a
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
I think that's what like scammers used to do back in the day.
My ex-colleague encountered this before.
Gift cards?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The scammer called her and then say that, okay, your CEO need your help to transfer money to buy the Apple cards.
Oh.
Then she did transfer. I don't know how many thousand.
Okay. Seems like you got that one. So 1 point to you. Next one is the property manager demands a reservation fee before even confirming your qualify.
This one I think is fishy, not legit.
Not legit.
Yeah,
So it's a scam.
Yeah, it's a scam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you got that right as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 2 points. 2 for 2. Doing very well. The property owner refuses cash payments and only accepts rent through bank transfer.
Legit.
Legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But bank transfer must be to the owner accounts.
To the owner's account?
Yes, not
Okay.
to others. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If to others like the spouse, then I think may need to write a disclaimer or consent.
In some kind of like
Black
written
and
in
white.
paper or something,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or to joint account, then it's okay. If to personal to the spouse, then may need some disclosure.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Next one is the listing has like really luxurious photos, but the rent is so cheap that it makes ramen look expensive.
This one I think scam.
Scam.
Yeah. Because as a landlord, usually we'll follow the markets. We won't like so desperate to lower the rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we really critical, I think they will choose to dispose the asset.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I know no landlord's gonna play.
Yeah.
That's gonna give away a freebie, right?
Yes.
I think. I mean, on the topic of like luxurious photos, recently I saw one listing. It was in the Hillview area, and there was so many inquiries on that particular listing, and because the price was really good, right? But it was a landed house, and it was like 2,700 for a landed house.
Oh.
That's like the obvious point number one.
Entire unit.
That's the thing, we don't know whether it was entire unit
or a room.
or a room, so we just like, okay, fine, we just leave it there. But the other one was that the pictures, after like actually looking at the pictures, I was like, wait a minute, this is like a US house. Yeah, it was like, the typical like I don't know what you call it, like a duplex kind of like setup, that picket fence, they were like, that's not in Singapore. Then we took it down straight away. Yeah. So I mean, we weren't sure whether it was a scam or not, but we just wanted to make sure the tenants felt safe, so we took it down. Yeah, we got so many inquiries on it. Then every time we called, the guy was like, "I'm not in Singapore. I'm not in Singapore."
Always away.
Yeah. So I think that was our sign that it was a scam as well. So we took it out. Yeah. Okay, cool. Next one is the landlord insists on an in-person meeting before renting to you.
On personal meeting.
Yeah, because they want to vibe check the tenant.
Legit.
Okay.
Yeah. Some landlord, they are very particular on profiles, so they want to interview the tenant first.
Oh really?
Yes.
What kind of questions they ask? Tell me your strengths and weaknesses.
Usually they will check their work, what is their professions, and then how long they be in Singapore, all kind the background checks. And the vibe that when they converse with the tenants, the potential tenants. Yeah, whether this is easy to handle tenants or Yes.
Oh yeah, I would think especially if it's room rental, there's landlord staying
Room
as well.
rental and also whole unit also have.
Oh, you have both as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next one, the landlord claims to be overseas. Yep, and insists on handling everything through a special agent.
Special agent. I think legit.
Legit?
Legit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As long as the agent already verified that this is the owner of the units.
Okay.
Yeah. Some landlord they did stay overseas. Yeah. And then they entrust the entire unit to agent.
Okay,
to
that's
handle.
correct as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. As long as the agent also makes sure he or she like shows that
Yeah.
she is an agent somehow.
Yes.
How about if this was a cousin or something?
Cousin or something. I think ownership proof is critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it was a cousin, maybe still you would
Yes.
tell the tenant maybe there's a.
Yeah, still need to get the ownership proof.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And how about this one? Before handing over the keys, the landlord insists on a move-in inspection, complete with a photo and checklist.
Legit.
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 Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
legit.
I tried to trick you there, you know.
Legit.
Okay, but I guess you didn't fall for it. Okay,
Yeah.
everything checking out so far. And the last one, this is the last one. This is a tough one. Huh?
Okay.
The ad says no background checks needed, no lease, just send money and move in today.
Scam.
What is that?
It's
All you
scam.
need is to give the deposit. That's all.
It's a scam.
Hardest question of the list. Okay, well, I think you got everything right. Well, okay, you definitely showed your mark in the real estate industry. So anyway, that's it for the Renly Stories. Thanks so much for watching. And of course, if you want to find out more, please follow and subscribe to Renly Stories. Also, if you want to, let's just say, get in contact with Summer, she's an amazing agent. Maybe you can tell them where they can reach out to you.
Yeah. Hi. You can contact me through this number. Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's all. Thanks again, Summer.
Thanks,
Have a great
Elliot.
one.
Done.